Do you like the science? What else?
Yes.
Yes, I like the song.
Wow. Okay, Abdullah, please don't write on the chat, okay? So let's start grade 1, okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
So all of you close your mic. All of you close your mic. All of you close your mic.
ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. All of you close your mic, grade 1. Okay, let's start. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. Close your mic. Okay, let's start. May Allah protect Saudi Arabia and all Islamic countries from any dangers. Why we study science grade 1? Yeah, the science. Wait, one by one, because the science of today is the technology of tomorrow. Okay, please grade 1 follow our online class rules. Be prepared on the time. Raise your hand to respond and to ask any questions. Close your camera, close your mic, and no one write on the chat, okay? No one write on the chat. Okay, let's start our lesson today. It's about weather all around us. Who can tell me how is the weather today? I will choose. You can answer me. Yes, Radwan. No. Close your mic. Yes, Radwan. Radwan, how is the weather today, Radwan? Radwan, where are you? How is the weather today? Radwan?
Yes.
Okay, answer me, Radwan. How is the weather today? Is it sunny or cloudy? Cold or warm?
Sunny.
Yeah, it's sunny. Okay, and now it's cold or hot? Radwan, now it's hot or cold?
Cold. It's cold.
Yes, cold or cold. Thank you so much, Radwan. Please close your mic. So grade 1, we know that we study the weather because the weather affects number 1, what you wear, and number 2, what activities you can do. So who can tell me quickly why we study the weather? Yes, Omar Maher. Tell me, Omar, why we study the weather? Omar Maher. Tell me, Omar, please, why we study the weather? Because the weather affects number 1. Yes, Omar. Why we study the weather? The weather affects number 1, what
we wear.
Yeah, what you wear. And number 2, what? What the activities you can do. If the weather is very cold, what you will wear?
Jacket.
And what the activities you can do?
Clothes.
What the activities you can do? You can swimming in the cold weather. Okay, thank you so much, Omar. Thanks, honey. Okay, and we know what is the weather. The weather, what the air and sky are like each day. What the air and sky are like each day. Yes, Ibrahim. Tell me, Ibrahim, about the weather. Ibrahim?
Yes.
Tell me, Ibrahim, what is the weather? What the air and? And sky. What the air and?
Sky.
Are like each day. Are like each? Yeah, each day, Ibrahim. Each day. Thank you so much, Ibrahim. Okay. And we know that the sky may be sunny or cloudy. And what about the air? The air may be warm or cold. And we know grade 1 that the weather changes from day to day. The weather changes from day to day. Not the same every day. No, no, no. The weather changes from day to day, and we can describe the weather by three factors. Number one, by the temperature. By the temperature. Number two, by the rain. And number three, by the wind. So who can tell me how we can describe the weather? Can you tell me, Amr Haytham? Amr Haytham.
Me teacher. I am Reyes.
Okay, Rais, answer me. How we can describe the weather?
Number one, temperature.
Yeah, by the temperature. And number two?
Number two, rain.
And number three?
Wind.
Amazing, Rais. Thank you so much, honey.
Welcome.
And how can we measure the weather? If we measure the temperature may be warm or cold. And what about the wind? The wind may be slowly or very fast. And the rain may be few or little rain, and or it is more of rain or a lot of rain. Okay, let's start with number one. Okay, what about the temperature? The temperature is how warm or cold the air is. So what about the temperature is how warm or cold the air is. Can you tell me, Amr Haytham? Amr Haytham, are you absent? Okay, Asil Faiz, tell me, Asil Faiz, about the temperature. Asil. Okay, Ziad. Ziad. Nawaf.
Yes.
Who are you? What's your name?
I am Nawaf Salah.
Nawaf. Okay, Nawaf. Answer me, Nawaf. What is the temperature, Nawaf? Is how?
Cold.
Is how warm or cold the air? Is how warm or cold the air is. Okay, Nawaf?
Okay.
Thank you, Nawaf. Thank you so much, Nawaf. Okay, and what causes the temperature to change? We know which causes the temperature to change? The sun. So what causes the temperature to change, grade 1? The sun. When the sun warms the air, the temperature will be warm. But when there is no sun, the temperature may be cold or cold. Now, how we can measure the weather? How we can measure the temperature? We know that we have a tool. We can measure the temperature by this tool. It's called thermometer. Thermometer, yeah? What's your name? It is the thermometer. So how we can measure the weather? By the temperature, by the thermometer. By the thermometer. Yes, Nuayman. Tell me, Nuayman, how we can measure the temperature? Nuayman? Nuayman. Okay, Battal.
Yes.
Tell me, Battal, how we can measure the temperature by the... Okay, Nuayman. Tell me, Nuayman, how we can measure the temperature by the thermometer.
Thermometer.
Yeah, one more time, Nuayman. Thermometer.
Thermometer.
One more time, thermometer. Okay, thank you so much, Nuayman. So we can measure the temperature by the thermometer. Look at this picture here. The thermometer tell us about the temperature. It's warm, but here it tell us about the thermometer. It's very cold. So what can the temperature be like? Close your mic, Nuayman, please. The temperature may be hot or warm, cold or cold. So the temperature, grade 1, may be hot, warm, cold, or cold. Yes, Asil Khalid? close your mic, please. Asil Khalid.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, Asil, tell me, what can the temperature be like? If we talk about the temperature may be like what? Hot or?
Warm.
Yeah, hot or warm?
Cold.
Cold or?
Cold.
Cold or cold. Amazing, Asil. Thank you so much, Asil. Okay, this is about number one, the temperature. What about number two, the rain? How we can measure the little of the rain or the more of the rain? Close your mic, please, grade one. Who open the mic? So how we can measure the rain? If the rain, Rais, please close your mic, close your camera, okay? And Radwan, close your mic, Radwan. Who opened the mic? Mishal, close your mic. Okay, so what about the rain? The rain may be little or more rain. How we can measure the rain, grade one? We can measure the rain by the rain gauge. By the rain gauge. By the rain gauge. Yes, Muhammad Saad? Tell me, Muhammad, how we can measure the rain? By the rain? Muhammad Saad. Muhammad Saad.
Yes.
So how we can measure the rain? By the rain? Wait, Mishal. By the rain gauge. By the rain.
By the rain gauge.
Well, one more time. By the rain gauge.
By the rain gauge.
Close your mic. Yeah, by the rain gauge. By the rain gauge. Thank you so much, Muhammad. And we know the wind. Grade one, close your mic. And we know what about the wind. Number three, we will talk about the wind. What about the wind? Wind is moving air.
اسم أخوي
Close your mic, grade one.
كامل.
Mishal, close your mic, Mishal. The last warning. Or I will kick you, Mishal. Okay. So what about the wind? Wind is moving air. When the air is moving, it is the wind. When the air is moving, it is the wind. So what about the wind? Wind is moving air. Wind is moving air. So wind is, yes, Sanad. Wind is, Sanad?
Yes, teacher.
Tell
Yes.
me, Sanad. Wind is?
Wind is when air.
Wind is moving air. Wind is?
Is moving air.
Yeah, one more time. Wind is?
Wind is moving air.
Thank you so much, Sanat. So wind is moving air, and maybe the wind. Yeah, amazing, Sanat. Thank you so much. And the wind may be slowly wind or very fast wind. Maybe it is slowly wind or it is a very fast wind. But how we know how it is slowly or it is very fast? We must measure the wind, like the temperature and like the rain. How we can measure the wind? How we can measure the wind? By the wind vane. By the wind vane. So one more time, I want you to repeat after me. Wind vane. Wind vane. Wind vane. So how we can measure the wind? By the wind vane. How we can measure the wind? By the wind vane. One more time. How we can measure the wind? By the wind vane. Yes, Aris, how we can measure the wind? By? Aris, how we can measure the wind? By?
Wind.
Yeah.
Wind.
Vane, wind vane. By the wind?
Wind.
Yes.
Wind.
Amazing, Aris. Thank you so much, Aris. Yes, Ahmed Muhammad? أحمد محمد. Okay, Ahmed Abdul Mun'im.
Yes.
Yes, Ahmed. So how we can measure the wind, Ahmed?
Wind vane.
Yeah, wind vane. We can measure the wind by the wind.
Vane.
Yeah, by the wind vane, we can measure the wind. Amazing, Ahmed. Thank you so much, Ahmed. So grade 1, we have tools to measure the weather. Different tools to measure the weather. Okay, number 1, to measure the temperature, we have a thermometer to measure the temperature. To measure the wind, we have a wind vane. We have a wind vane. To measure the rain, we have a rain gauge. This rain gauge measures how much rain falls. Okay, and this wind vane measure the direction of the rain. Direction of the rain, is the rain will direction or will go to the north or the west direction. Okay, so what about with the wind? Wind is moving air and we can measure it by the wind vane. We can measure it by the wind vane. Okay, now which of these tools? Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, now which of these tools measures the temperature? Who can tell me which of these tools measure the temperature? I will choose who can answer with me. Yes, yes, Faleh? Faleh?
Yes, teacher.
So answer me, Faleh. Which of these tools measure the temperature? First, tell me what is the name of the tools that measure the temperature? We can measure the temperature by the wind vane or thermometer.
Thermometer.
Amazing, thermometer. Where is the thermometer? Is it number 1 or number 2 or number 3?
Number 2. 1.
1. This is the thermometer. But look, this tool is collect the rain. So this is for the rain gauge.
3, teacher. 3.
Yes, it's called what?
3.
Thermometer. It's called?
Thermometers.
Yeah, thermometer. It's called? Thermometer. Okay, thank you so much, Fadah. Yes, Thanayan. And which of these tools can measure the wind? Which measure the wind, Thanayan?
Yes, teacher.
Thanayan, which of these tools measure the wind? We can measure the wind by the wind vane or rain gauge.
Rain gauge.
By the rain gauge, but it's called wind. So we must measure the wind by wind vane, like wind, or rain gauge.
Wind.
Yeah, wind vane. Can you choose which of these tools measure the wind? Where is the wind vane? Is it number 1 or number 2 or number 3?
I think 3.
3, but 3 it is the thermometer. A thermometer uses the temperature. The wind vane can use or can measure the direction of the wind and move with the wind. Move with the wind.
Teacher, number 2, I think.
Yeah, Meshad, the last warning of you, Meshad, close your mic. Yes, Thanayan, number 1 or 2?
2.
Yeah, amazing, Thanayan. Thank you so much, Thanayan. This tool, Thanayan, the wind vane, move with the wind. It's move with the wind, okay? If we finish, I will send it to you, inshallah, video to show, to know how it's move, okay? Thank you so much, Thanayan. Which of these tools can measure the rainfall? Which of these tools measure the rain? How we can measure the rain? Salim, how we can measure the rain, Salim? Yes, Salim? Salim.
Yes.
How we can measure the rain, Salim?
Rain gauge.
Yeah, which one? The rain gauge 1 or 2?
1.
Abdurrahman, close your mic. 1 or 2 or 3, Salim?
3.
3, it is the thermometer for the temperature. But where is the rain gauge? The rain gauge collects the rain.
1.
Yes, number 1. Amazing, Salim. Thank you so much, Salim. Okay. Now let's play together. Okay, are you ready? Yes, Elias.
Yes, teacher. Yes, teacher.
Okay, Elias. Faleh, close your mic, Faleh. Yes, Elias. So number 1, now we have a pictures. We must match it with the correct word. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, okay.
Okay, Elias. Wind vane. The wind vane is a tool. Measure what? Is it measure the wind or
Yes,
the temperature?
teacher.
Wind, wind here. Number 1 or number 2?
Number
1 or 2?
1.
1, this is the word wind. This wind or this wind?
2.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, it's correct. Thank you so much, Elias. Amazing, Elias. Yes, Adam. Adam?
Sure.
Okay, Adam. Now we have a thermometer. The thermometer can use or can measure. Yes, Adam, the thermometer measure what? Measure the rain or measure the temperature?
Temperature.
Yes, measure the temperature. Amazing. Where is the temperature? Can you read? This one or this one?
1. Number 1.
Okay, number 1. Amazing, Adam. Thank you so much, Adam. Yes, Fahad. Fahad? Where are you, Fahad? Yeah, I can't hear your voice, Fahad. Raise your voice.
Yes.
Okay. Fahad, look at this tool. It is a thermometer or wind vane?
Wind vane.
Yeah, the wind vane measure what? It is measure the wind or the rain?
Rain.
Wind or rain?
Rain.
Rain. Look at this wind vane. It's called wind vane. So how it measure the rain?
Wind.
Fahad. Yes, measure the wind. Yeah, it's correct. Thank you so much, Fahad. Amazing, Fahad. Yes, Mishal. Mishal?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, Mishal. Look at this tool and tell me, is it a thermometer or rain gauge?
Okay.
This one, is it a thermometer or rain gauge?
Number 1.
This one, tell me this one, this picture. Is it a thermometer or rain gauge?
Thermometer.
Yeah, it is a thermometer. And the thermometer measure what?
Teacher, I am Ashara.
Ahmad, wait, close your mic now. I call your name and you not answer. Yes, Mishal. This thermometer used to measure the temperature or the rain?
The rain.
The rain, Mishal, are you sure? Mishal. Mishal.
Yeah.
With me, Mishal, okay? Or I will kick you. Focus with me. This thermometer used to measure this thermometer. We can use it to measure the temperature or rain. Mishal?
Yes.
Answer, Mishal. This thermometer, we use it to measure the temperature or rain.
Temperature.
Yes, temperature. Thank you so much, Mishal. Focus with me, Mishal.
Me teacher Abdullah Jamal.
Okay, wait, Abdullah, wait, hon. Okay, so we can use it to measure the temperature. Thank you so much, Mishal. Okay. Now, how we can measure the rain? عدي. How we can measure the rain, عدي صدام?
Yes.
How we can measure the rain? By the
Rain gauge.
Yeah, by the rain gauge. Amazing, Adi. Thank you so much, Adi. So I think all of your answer is correct. Thank you so much, grade 1, but we can put it. It is the same. Thank you so
Me
much.
teacher Abdullah Jamal.
Yes, Abdullah, wait, I will ask you. Wait. Okay, so we know how we can measure the weather. How we can measure the weather by 3 factors. Number 1, if we wanted to measure the temperature, we can use the thermometer. Or if we want to measure the wind, we can use the wind vane, and the rain, we can use the rain gauge. Okay, yes, Abdullah Jamal?
Yes, teacher.
Tell me, Abdullah, how we can measure the temperature? By the
thermometer.
Amazing, by the thermometer. Thank you, Abdullah. Yes, Abdurrahman Ahmed. Abdurrahman Ahmed, quickly, please. Okay, Sulaiman. Amir Fahmi. Yes, Abdurrahman, I can't hear your voice. Answer.
Abdurrahman Ammar.
Okay, Abdurrahman. Ibrahim, wait, close your mic. Yes, Abdurrahman, how we can measure the wind? By the
Wind.
By the wind vane.
Wind van.
Yeah, by the wind vane. Thank you so much, Abdurrahman. Yes, Abdurrahman Ammar. Yeah, Abdurrahman. Okay, tell me, Abdurrahman, how we can measure the rain?
Rain gauge.
Abdurrahman Ammar, how we can measure the rain?
Rain gauge.
Yeah, by the rain gauge. Thank you so much, Abdurrahman. Okay, now let's write together the new word of today, okay? Are you ready? So today we learned about the wind. Are you ready to write with me?
Yes.
Badr. Close your mic. Badr, today we talk about the wind, yeah?
Teacher.
Badr, today we talk about the wind, yeah?
Yes.
How we can measure the wind? By the rain gauge or wind vane?
Wind vane.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Badr. By the wind vane. Can you write it quickly in your notebook? Quickly, grade 1, please. Okay. Close your mic. Okay, so we can measure the wind by the wind vane. I'm so sorry, I can't write well. I'm so sorry. You can write it from here. Wind vane. Okay. Okay, there is no time. Or you can write.
You said.
Okay, all of you will answer. Wait, honey.
Teacher, what you said?
I tell you, write in your notebook. Write wind and wind vane. Quickly, please. Okay, so now it's the evaluation time. Let's start. We can match the correct answer. Okay. Oh.
Teacher, no picture عشان right.
No. Now the picture is good. Okay, yes, Adel Naif. Okay, Yusuf Khalid.
Leave the meeting. Yes, teacher. Yes, teacher.
Yes. Are you Yusuf or Adil? Okay, Yusuf.
Adil.
Okay, so wait, honey, wait, Yusuf after Adil, okay? Yes, Adil. Match the correct answer here. Number one, the temperature can be measured with No, just focus with me. Just focus with me. Not in your book. Yes, Adil, temperature can be measured with a rain gauge or with a thermometer. Adil. Yes, Adil, quickly answer, please. Yes. Adil, the temperature can be measured with a rain gauge or with a thermometer. Temperature. Temperature with a thermometer or rain gauge?
Rain gauge.
Rain gauge. Abdul Malik, do you know the answer, Abdul Malik?
No.
Abdul Malik, how we can measure the temperature? Rain gauge or thermometer?
Thermometer.
Yeah, amazing, Abdul Malik. So, Adil, answer me again. How we can measure the temperature? By the thermometer. By the Adil, by the thermometer. Again, Adil, please answer me by the thermometer. By the Adil, what happened? Thermometer. Can you repeat?
Animal.
Thermometer. Thermometer. مشعل. Yes, thermometer, Adil. Thermometer again. Okay. Thank you, Adil. Thank you so much, Adil. Abdurrahman Al-Afari. Number two, Abdurrahman can use Abdurrahman Al-Afari. Abdurrahman Al-Afari. Yusuf, please. Yeah, Yusuf. Yeah. You can answer, Yusuf. I'm so sorry. Yes, Yusuf, Khalid. Okay, Yusuf. You can use what to measure how much rainfall? You can use a rain gauge or wind vane for the rain.
Rain gauge.
Amazing, Yusuf. Thank you so much, Yusuf Khalid. Okay. Yes, Abdurrahman Afari. Okay, Abdurrahman. You can or we can measure the direction of the wind with how we can measure the direction of the wind with a rain gauge or with a wind vane? Yeah, Abdurrahman. Yeah, tell me how we can measure the direction of the wind with the rain gauge or wind vane?
Wind vane.
Amazing, Abdurrahman. Thank you so much. So by the wind vane. Thank you so much, grade one. So my period's finished. Now please leave the meeting, okay?
I love you.
Bye.
Teacher.
Teacher, ممكن تشوفي رابط تليجرام؟ غيرت الرقم.
Yes, Aris.